Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. Today I am checking out Vermillion, and Vermillion is a oil painting simulator in VR. I stumbled across this app the day that it released last week, and I thought it was awesome. As you can see, I can paint alongside Bob Ross if I want to, or really any other reference on the internet, or videos, or photos, or clipboard items. I can paint pretty much anything with a reference to the canvas. I can also pick different size canvases. So at this point, we're going to go with this 24 by 18 canvas. That seems safe. We've got a painter's palette here. I'm not actually going to use the Bob Ross stuff today. I'm not actually a talented artist at all. What I'm going to be doing is just taking this paint palette. I'm actually going to take this, put it out of view. Don't need it for today. We are going to take this, spread it down here a bit. And we're really, literally just going to take these pieces and we're going to paint the sky. That's it. That's all we're going to do. So to clean this tool, we can actually literally clean it right there. So I'll show you a different way to clean a tool in just a moment. But for now, we've got this much larger brush. We're going to load it up with this blue paint. Really tap it in, really load it up. And then we're going to start really blending in a nice blue sky. And since we're painting the whole thing blue like this, there's no real rush to how we're doing it. And there's no real like rhyme or reason. We're just going to go up and down with the brush until we've got the canvas covered in blue. Alright, so we've got that blue. Now what I want to do at the bottom is clean the brush off a bit here. You can see the brush is now clean. What I want to do now is I'm going to take this oval brush. I'm going to do this almost brownish orange color. And I'm going to just tap it along here. And I know this is oil paint. You're not supposed to be tapping along like this. But I want a nice rough edge kind of sand here. Then what we'll do is we'll put a nice little layer of a different color in between. Trying to get a little uneven ground there. Alright, so we've got our uneven ground. Another way to clean the brush is just hitting the A button. Magically that brush is now clean. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, let's take this brush here. Whoops, not that one. This one here. The other thing you can actually do, you can actually change the position of where your hand is holding the brush. So I can go back and forth, or I can go like that. We're going to do a little bit of paint thinner now. And we're going to take that same blue. It's going to be a slightly thinner colored blue now. I'm going to make some water lines here. And as you can see, it's a slightly different color of blue. Do a little bit more of that. Slightly different off-color blue. Because that way, with that lighter blue color, that designates the difference between the sky and the water below. And now we're going to blend a bit. Just a little bit more. And we're going to do a little bit of a blend here. As the sky kind of reflects off of the water a bit, if you will. Now, as you can tell, I am not a digital artist or an oil painter or anything of that nature. But we've got a little bit of water there. Now what we're going to do is actually clear our paint palette. Whoops. It's a good thing we still had some paint there. I undid some of what I had done. Alright, so now we'll clean our brush off. And we're going to go with yet another brush here. I'm going to go with this little fan brush. And with the fan brush, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of this crimson red color. We're just going to tap it along the edges here to make almost like a ridge along the edge. And then we're going to clean that brush off. We're going to do the same thing with the sky. We're going to take that really dark blue. We're just going to make a bit of a ridge here along the water. And now we're going to do my favorite part with the sky. And actually, you know what, before we even do the sky, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush right here, do a little bit of paint thinning, just a tiny dab of the red, because I want to kind of blow that out a little bit. It's a little too red. Alright, so there's that. Now, you know what? I don't want the paint thinner. I changed my mind on that. I'm going to go with white. I'm going to load up the white on this brush. Whole lot of white. It's nothing but white. And we're going to make some clouds. And we're going to kind of smooth out the clouds around the cloud. So it's a little rough around the edges. And then clean the brush off. We'll do the same thing again elsewhere in the sky. Clean off the brush again. Do a little bit more. I feel like that one needs some love. We've got some nice fluffy clouds. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. So we've got some clouds in the sky now. Now, do a little bit something different here. Take this brush, and we are going to do this black. Just load up the black here. I hope this works. I really hope it does. What I want to do is just a little faint sketch in the clouds. Because there's usually some gray in a cloud. Do a little bit more gray in the clouds. Now our black is starting to turn really gray. So we've got clouds. Let's reset our easel, or I'm sorry, our palette. I'm gonna go back to our fan brush for this next. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to this little thin brush here. I'm hoping this will work. Never tried using this brush, but it should. What I want to try to do is just a nice little... No, that's not... It's too thin, unfortunately. I mean, maybe I want to actually scrape it. Maybe I want to do it this way. I don't care for that. Let's, I feel like that's too thick. Let's go with this white one again. What I'm trying to do is just do, there we go. Okay. It's a little boat. And then we'll take... do a little bit of the crimson here. Just have a figure there. Take a little bit of that. And let's take a little bit of the yellow as well. Paint those together. Maybe put a little bit of white in there as well. I want to make it as pale as possible. It's still a little too yellow, so let's do a little bit of the brown here. And then I want to make it just a tap, a little head. That's a person's head, sort of, in its own warped way. And then let's put a little hat on them. Kind of want a purple hat, so let's go blue and red. Together those make purple. Nice little blended color there. And let's just tap across the person's head. Now they've got, it almost looks like a nice haircut as opposed to a hat, but it works. So we've got the person on the boat. And now let's take, let's go with maybe this brush. Let's take this little pinkish color. I feel like it's not loading the brush up enough. There we go, okay. And let's just do a little tiny fish. That's not tiny. It's almost like a shark coming out of the water there. Alright, and let's clear that brush. Let's go with the green now. Let's just make a little shrub on the beach. Just a tiny little shrub. Let's actually cover up this red with the shrub. Did a little too much there, so we can actually, I believe, back out a little bit. There we go. We backed out. And we can actually change the thickness of this. I'm going to go with a slightly thicker version. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this green, I'm going to paint thin it a little bit. Now let's try that. Yeah, that's much nicer. Much nicer. Much nicer little shrub in the corner there. And now, let's see, what else we want to do? Let's do a little tiny bird, also purple in the sky. Let's see if we can get this to, don't have enough of the paint on the brush here. Don't like that. So let's erase that. Let's try one more time. We've kind of fouled up our purple at this point, but let's try it. And and that's kind of a bird in the sky. I am, again, not an artist at all. But this is one of those applications that I absolutely love because I can go in and I can do whatever I want with it, really. And I can have a ton of fun. And I can just chill and relax. And if I make a mistake, I can take this little piece of cloth here and I can totally erase it altogether. So if I wanted to take a little dab there, you can see, just kind of erase the corner. Let's erase a little bit more. That should be good. Now we're going to take this tiny little brush, load it up with the black paint. I hope. I really want to load it up with the black paint. There it is. And we are going to put a tiny little E in the corner. And there we have it. It's, I guess, a dude in a boat just off the land looking up at the sky. This has been a quick look at Vermillion. Again, this is one of my favorite applications right now in VR. You can look here. You can see Bob Ross, the legend himself, on YouTube through the full web browser. I am going to go to save right here. You can see my other picture. I started to actually do... I'm going to save this painting. I started to actually do one of the Bob Ross style paintings of a campfire. So this is one that I started the other night. I put a little bit of a tree there. It's supposed to be a log going into the fire. Again, still learning how to blend the colors and things of that nature. But you can even see the steps in the painting. So you can see here's just the red background that I started with. And then here's me starting to add some yellow crisscrosses over it. And then here's me starting to blend that yellow with the red to make that orange color. And then here's where we're at right now with that little tree on the side. I thought it was a pretty cool way to show step by step how that canvas is growing. And then of course they have some fantastic art that was preloaded here that you can look at and kind of learn from. Look at those clouds in that sky. It's amazing. But overall, you can do a ton of different things. There's two different default paint sets. We've got the larger of the two palettes here, and then a simpler red, blue, yellow, white. If you want a different palette, you can also kind of make your own palette with your own palette size. Like we can make it larger and smaller. You can add different layers. So if I wanted to add a layer and only manipulate that layer, you can. There's a spectator mode for the camera. There's tons of different cool settings here. Haptic feedback intensity, pressure indicator for the brushes. If you're left-handed or right-handed, it takes all of that into account. It's awesome. So if we click that, that goes away. We could edit this if we wanted to. But for right now, I'm going to say goodbye. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I will be back with more content soon. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself. I would also highly recommend checking out Vermillion. It's a great application. There is a tutorial as well. I'm going to go back to my sky painting. I loved making this today. And I will be back soon with more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.